everyone, and welcome to the Grammar Chat podcast. I'm your host, Yvonne, and today we're talking about the present simple negative. This tense helps us say that something does not happen or is not true in general. Joining me is Jack, who's here to chat about it. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Yvonne. I'm excited to learn. So, the present simple negative is for things that are not true in general?
Exactly. It's for things that aren't true as a habit, routine, or general fact. For example, if I say, she does not go to work by train, it means she usually doesn't take the train to work. She might go by bus or use another form of transport instead. It's not just about today, it's about how she usually travels.
Ah, I see. So, if I want to say she always uses a car instead of a train, I would say, she does not go to work by train, right?
That's right. It tells us something about her usual behavior or habit.
Okay, got it. So, how do I make a negative sentence in the present simple?
It's very easy. You use do not or does not, and then you add the base form of the verb.
Wait, what's the base form?
Good question. The base form is the simplest form of the verb, like play, eat, or go. You don't add anything to it. Let's try some examples. I do not play football. She does not eat fish. They do not work on weekends.
All right, so I just need to use do not and does not, and the verb stays simple.
You've got it, Jack.
Okay, but when do I use do not, and when do I use does not?
Great question. You use do not with I, you, we, and they. For example, I do not like pizza. And you use does not with he, she, and it. For example, she does not eat meat.
Ah, so with he, she, or it, it's always does not. And with I, you, we, or they, it's do not. That's so simple. But what happens to the verb? Does it change?
No, it doesn't change. The verb always stays in its base form. Let's take a look at some more examples. I do not watch TV at night. You do not work on weekends. He does not often travel. She does not bake at Christmas. It does not live in America. We do not work from home. You do not live in a house. They do not like dancing.
Great, thanks for the examples. What about contractions? I hear people say don't or doesn't all the time.
Contractions are very common in everyday English. Instead of saying do not, we say don't. And instead of saying does not, we say doesn't. For example, I don't like spinach. She doesn't work on Fridays. They don't visit the park often. Using contractions sounds more natural and relaxed.
So, contractions are just a shorter way to say it. That's easy to remember.
Exactly.
Can we go over everything one more time?
Of course. The present simple negative is used to talk about things that do not happen or are not true in general. To make it, you simply use do not or does not, followed by the base form of the verb. No fancy endings or changes. You use do not with I, you, we, and they, like in I don't eat meat or we don't play tennis. For he, she, and it, you switch to does not, like in he doesn't drink coffee or she doesn't watch TV. And here's a fun fact. The verb always stays in its base form. It doesn't get dressed up with an S or anything. So, no matter what, keep it simple and plain.
Thanks, Yvonne. This was super helpful. I feel like I can use negatives confidently now. I used to make so many mistakes because it wasn't explained well, but now everything makes sense. Thanks again.
You're welcome, Jack. And to all our listeners, I hope this helped you understand how to use the present simple negative. Keep practicing, and you'll get the hang of it in no time. In our next episode, we'll learn how to make questions in the present simple tense, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for tuning in to the Grammar Chat podcast. See you next time.